Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker.
Let's roll.
Morning, Sergeant Major.
How do you know what kind of goddamn day it is?
Beautiful morning, Sergeant Major.
Are you a fucking weatherman now?
You're listening to Sergeant's Time on WTF Nation Radio.
Functional Veteran Center of Excellence.
Break 'em off some.
This is Sergeant's Time. New Summer W.T.F moments and WTF Nation Radio. I'm your host, and of course, rocking in the gunner seat, just slaying them as Spiky.
Hey y'all, that's me.
Oh man, girl, how you been? What you doing? Hey.
Oh, I'm outstanding. I have a 700-day streak on Duolingo today. That's my news.
Oh, okay. Well, what's going on? What happened? What?
I got a 700-day streak on Duolingo today.
Oh, Espanol, right?
Me and my Spanish are getting up there.
Working the Spanglish.
Yeah, that's it exactly.
Exactly. Jinglish. Yeah, it's more. Because growing up in a mixed, multilingual family. We used to say Jinglish for German and Spanish, so it was like, because it would be the same thing for English and all that. So no, I hear you, man. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to have that multi. And then you start thinking in other languages too. Like when you're speaking something, you're trying to learn another language, and you're speaking it, and you're like, is this the structure? And then shit that you type out in English doesn't look right. You're just like, this doesn't look. You're like, so. I don't know what the feeling.
Yeah, like seriously, like the reason why I had to bring that up is like right when we were about to come on, I'm like, oh my God, I got a little notification. Like, don't miss your streak. So like real quick, I'm like, let me do it like real fast, 45-second lesson so I don't miss my streak. Did I learn anything? Absolutely not. I was just doing a review real quick, so I did not miss my streak.
Oh man. God, okay, everyone's talking about this and it's
spit on that thing.
It's been spit on that thing. The internet sensation of that chick talking about and holy crap, the domain page posted one meme, and I took hey, what's up, Baconator? Long time no see. I took a little peek, and I'm like, good Lord, this is dang, oh my God, the inbox has been filled with the memes. So you just gotta watch it. Look it up. Just look and then you'll see what the tour is about. So
definitely need to update the 2024 meme calendar for June.
That's right. That is the one for June, isn't it?
Moment.
Yeah, this is her moment. Yeah, her night begins to shine. So yeah, so it's like cool. Gonna have a good show tonight. We're gonna talk about timeline stuff on the main. We've not gone into the screenshot madness that we usually do for Sergeant's Time. This is, well, I mean, actually, that's only for Monday, I think. But anyways, we decided to do some stuff for Sergeant's Time because we getting some spicy. Is it hate? Is it drama? Is it friction? Is it what?
It's all the above.
It's all the above. It's like, dude, we're all on the same team. And we're cool. We all love you. You don't. Nobody needs to get mad at us for no reason. And holy shit, just because of one post that we make. Well, let me grab it up here, and then we'll talk.
Put
about
it right there.
And put it right here, and then I'll put it right here. Let me grab the here so that I can put it right here. Tonight we're gonna have a guest, Jack Dona. He's the guy that assisted Stolen Valor Anthony Anderson in the discourse, not really discourse, and calling out Congressman Niels and Steve Slaton. I'm gonna make sure I get the name right. On unauthorized medals and unauthorized badges and lying. And I'll wait till he gets on here. This is some, this will be some good shit. And Jack is oh man, Jackson is intense. He's tedious, and his knowledge is extremely. Him working with Anthony, those two together have provided a pretty good story. Not really a story, but had laid out the facts, I should say. And the special guest is going to be the Hawk Tool girl. No, it's not going to be the Hawk Tool girl. As funny as it would be, I don't know. Maybe we should have her come on. But anyways, so we'll get to that. He's going to be coming on shortly. But I want to talk about. Okay, guys, I love you. Love you all. I love how we all get along. I love how we all have a good background with each other, and how we all like to post memes and jokes and stuff like that. But there was a meme that we posted, and it got freaking everybody got freaked out. Everyone was pretty upset because of the meme that we posted. And it is a meme that we have had posted before, and we kind of like joked about it right before it became a federal holiday. We're talking about Juneteenth. So happy Juneteenth celebration. We fully support it, and it was great. Like I said, it's about time we fucking got that shit going on. And matter of fact, me and you talked about it before, Spanky, about Juneteenth being a federally recognized holiday. We're talking about English and shit. Right. And we said, hey, there's other holidays that should come up. At any rate, so band page posted, which is pretty shared throughout the entire, I guess you'd say the webosphere, the interwebs. And let me pull it up. And it's a picture of Vince McMahon in a do-rag, and in that. It's portraying, the meme is being portrayed as how awkward white commanders, that's usually who it is, on explaining the holiday of like Juneteenth. And so right. it basically is I'll here, let me post the meme up. I mean, here I'm fucking talking and blabbing it. So everyone's pissed off, saying that's not we shouldn't have posted it. Let me tell you what. If anything else, we thought it was fucking hilarious, because this right here depicts and this is no slight on white commanders, but white commanders, anytime there's something that has to do with the African American community, the black community, they're awkward about it. Me and you laughed about this meme. I mean, because they get really, it's almost like they get unsure of themselves just to explain Juneteenth. And it's like, just explain it. Just explain what's it about. Just whatever. So the meme depicts Vince McMahon and him trying to, I guess you would say, be on the level with the African American community, right? And right. That's how the meme is portrayed. We're making fun of, and we're memeing. The meme is, which we didn't even make the meme too, because we would have a watermark on it. Memeing, non-minority commanders trying to explain minority, history, which is American history, anyways. But go ahead.
And I want to say that, especially because I have spent most of my career in Texas.
Right.
All right. And before this was Juneteenth was a federal holiday.
Correct.
It has always been a big deal in Texas.
Right.
And it was a holiday, official holiday in Texas since 2017, I believe.
Correct.
When it was an official holiday. And it has always been a celebration in Texas ever since I can remember.
Right, exactly.
This has always been something that has been celebrated in Texas. And so I know exactly, as soon as I saw this meme, I immediately knew exactly what it was portraying and why, because it had always been the soldiers in Texas.
Right.
I mean, I learned about it like as soon as I moved here.
Right.
My kids had learned about it in school in Texas. Like Texas history is taught in Texas, just like
Correct.
I'm sure every state, because again, I grew up in all sorts of states and countries and everywhere, and learned about each state's history in every school that I went to, or
Correct.
each country's history in every country I went to. So in Texas, you learn Texas history. All right.
Right.
And that's where Juneteenth is thought about. But again, I can kind of understand, like, if you did not grow up here until this started becoming like a federal holiday, or even like didn't even become an official Texas holiday until like about a decade ago.
Right.
So I like, again, I can get it, but I also understand the very big awkwardness. Like if you had, especially 10 years ago, you had never heard of it.
Right, or exactly. See, that's the thing, I'm actually glad that it is brought up in the discussion, that because there's a lot of people that don't know what it is. Like you said, if you're out west, if you live out west, we all know what that is. That's Emancipation Day. Exactly that, Patrick.
Yeah.
Anyone know why it's not called Emancipation Day or something more descriptive? Which
well, it's not called that because it. Well, I can't exactly say why, because Emancipation Day was supposed to be when Lincoln actually freed the slaves,
bingo.
But it didn't happen
exactly.
Texas because it was kept a secret from the slaves in Texas.
Yes, because because the Emancipation Proclamation would be like, it was like in September, and announced that the Emancipation. Matter of fact, let me pull some notes here.
Yeah, it happened. It didn't happen until 2 years later.
Yeah,
because,
exactly. There you go. So
all the slave owners in Texas didn't want. It wasn't
that's
like
exactly it.
On the internet.
That's exactly
and
it.
News travels slow.
That's exactly it.
The slave owners in Texas did not want to free their slaves.
Right. Yep. So looking here, I appreciate you guys for all the notes, man. Thank you. September 22nd.
I'm doing this all the top of my head. I don't.
No. Somebody
have my notes.
Somebody sent me the Wikipedia links, and I'm looking at it right now. So, we were both correct. I was off on the.
Wikipedia. Sorry.
No, I mean, but I was off on the timing. I knew it was in September, but I didn't know exactly the date. So. Yeah, it's when President Abraham Lincoln announced the Emancipation Proclamation and would go into effect in 1863. And that right there, which, believe it or not, that's I mean, Latino Mexicans know that it's celebrated in Mexico. There's a festival in Mexico that celebrates Juneteenth. And that's exactly it. Basically, what it is for those of you that are not into the history thing, or basically what it is that Emancipation Proclamation happened, slaves are freed, and then the next thing you know, Texas is like, we're just not going to tell nobody.
Well, again, even then, like
part
of it is like they didn't want to, and then part of it is like Texas is far, from the East Coast.
Yes.
And by the time it got word to Texas, I can't remember the general's name that came and told slaves.
General Granger. General Granger came by and said, matter of fact, here's some notes here. Let me pull up some notes.
Yeah.
There we go. Got more notes. You guys are on the ball tonight, man. Appreciate you sending me the notes. That's what I'm talking about. Fuck. I was like, man, I thought I was going to be all over the place in the notes. It's not. You guys are rocking. So.
It has been a while since I took a Texas history course.
Yeah, well, according to Texas, that is American history, right? And so here are the orders that General.
Well, it is. Doggone it. Texas history is American history.
Exactly, and so is Black history. That's what is American history. That's why I get. Anyway, so I get. Dude, I was called. Man, we were called some serious names in the chats. In the. All right, Roger. I see you, Anthony. We were caused. Who's that ice guy? Me, of course. I was called an N-word lover. I was called a, you guys are dividing the army. You guys are being divisive. You're picking on white people. And man, it's like when we posted up the beard stuff, and I got told that I was I was called boy, and was like, hey boy, and I'm like,
right,
ooh, buddy, So here's the military orders that General Granger posted out. You will, hey, it's over. General orders people in Texas are informed that in accordance with the proclamation of the executive order, all slaves are free. That's it. That line right. Matter of fact, let me highlight that shit because that. There we go. Let me get that higher right there. Bam. Are free. That's like first sentence.
That's how long the word took to get to the slaves in Texas.
Yeah, it was right there. Look at that. That's right there. Straight up. Could you imagine being a soldier walking around? It's like you almost went back in time or something like that. Even though it's been a couple of years. I mean, you've gone back in time. I'm like, how old was I back then? Cause is asking, how old was I back in that day? Ah, man. Let's say 1865. Let's see. I think I just joined. I think it was just private at the time. So the war was over at that time. I always miss the big ones. And so this right here, that was it. All slaves are free. So again, that explanation right there, it's funny that the guessing is what is fucking up these is what's fucking up these leaders in describing what Juneteenth is. That's what's getting them in trouble. Right. And so if they're not understanding it, pick up a book before you go out before your formation and say, what is Juneteenth all about? The drama of everyone saying it shouldn't be a holiday. It's funny is that I love the fucking coy bullshit that some of the fucking haters like to talk about. Well, it's the guys from Texas saying that it's a made up holiday when everybody in fucking Texas knows it's not.
Right, but no, that's just it, and it's like so insulting to people, especially here in Texas, because it's like, oh, you're talking about the Emancipation Proclamation that freed the slaves. No, the fuck it didn't.
Yeah,
you could say that all you want, but say it to like people that had like, especially that can trace their ancestry back. There were still slaves in Texas for 2 fucking years after Lincoln said that.
Right, yeah,
or signed that.
Yeah,
exactly. So no, it did not free the slaves. You can, I mean, like I can write on this piece of paper right now, or put it this way: Biden can write whatever the fuck he wants an executive order, and that doesn't make it happen.
Right, exactly.
Like, you have to actually like make that executive order happen. Like, or IG, or who the fuck's in charge of the army right now? They can write whatever they want. If it's not happening down in the motor pool, it ain't fucking happening.
Exactly. Columbus Day needs to be deleted. I agree. I think Columbus Day needs to be I'm going to have everybody like go nuts on me now about the Columbus Day stuff. But I think that shouldn't be a federal. I think that should be taken away, or leave it there or whatever. And I think it should be. I think the national holiday, that if you take away Columbus Day, then it should be vote election day. So every when it's time for the elections and it's time to vote, then that should be a holiday. That should be a time off, because you're not and it should be a federally paid holiday. The comments, and like I said, some of them were even out there on the open. Someone saying that we were being divisive. We were being so divisive to white commanders. And I'm thinking, are you fucking nuts? And then on the opposite end, we were told that it was being racist. And I'm like, we're posting a meme. I love exactly that. We were posting a meme making fun of ill-informed non-minority commanders, and we get called the racist because that was it. I'm like, whatever, man. So a couple points to even said immediately. It's always funny when we have a post going up and nobody says shit. But when it sees something, when sensitive feeling happens, then all of a sudden we're being divisive, and we should look up what AR 600-20 is for the Army Equal Opportunity Program. I'm like, bruh. Hey, what's up, JD?
Okay, how about we're just telling you to learn what the holiday means? That's
exactly. That's exactly what we're doing. Saying. Exactly. So it's pretty funny.
That's what I'm saying.
It was pretty funny to see all the. And like I said, we're never going to satisfy anybody. We're never going to make everybody happy. But that's exactly what that meme portrays. It is, and it shows how commanders that do not know what Juneteenth means. I can't believe I gotta go meme-splaining now. Is that what I gotta do? I gotta. Welcome to the Center of Excellence, the wing of wing Bravos, where we're gonna learn about memery and memology. And did those commanders tell you that I was woke? Yeah, we got told we were woke. I mean, look at the comments. Everyone's like, you should delete the comments. I was like, no, leave them comments up so that way those motherfuckers could all be, you can all see who they are. And you'll see some of them that are serving with you. You'll see veterans that are, oh, hey, you were cool and all that stuff. Hey, look, man, hey, I believe in free speech, but I also believe in them hands with free consequences that come along with it. I'm not saying freedom of. I'm just saying, if you post some shit and your buddies see it and they're looking at you, they all saw your post and they're looking at you all fucked up, and there are people of color. Guess what? You get what you get.
Exactly. Exactly.
And that's
oh yeah, 2 years ago when I was explaining this, like, oh my god, I get so
right. We did. Oh my god, yeah.
And I'm like,
I remember
people show their true colors.
Yeah, me and you were talking about it when it was just discussing it, and everyone was like, well, Biden did this and Trump did that. I'm gonna say, and Republicans did this. Do you know that? The bill, her name was to introduce into Congress. Her name's Opal Lee or something like that. I think it's Opal Lee. I want to make sure. Matter of fact, let me look it on here. Let me look it again. I must triple check on my info. See, now I got to double check on myself to make sure I'm good on that stuff. Yeah, her name, that was correct. Opal Lee. She's the everyone says that she's the one that introduced the legislation. This has been happening since the mid-90s. So if you're gonna get pissed off and say it's woke shit, wait a minute. Let's go back in the middle 90s then. Let's go back to who started Juneteenth. And every time she initiated this stuff or tried to introduce legislation for Juneteenth being a holiday. Sorry. Yeah, exactly that. Opal. Yeah, exactly that. Cause Opal is Juneteenth's grandmother. And so there you go. So you can look at everybody from the mid 90s all the way up to now. That's their fault. That's the fault where you need to lie this stuff. A lot of stuff comes to Congress anyways. That just like got me fucking riled up. I was like, fuck it. Anyone was like, oh, you're gonna take this down? No, I'm not gonna take it down. Look at these comments. No, leave it up. I want everybody it. Now, here's the thing. If you are being attacked with racist attacks or comments, send us the snapshot of the individual. And we'll just go from there because we won't discuss the TTPs that we use to discuss it. But we'd be more than happy to let us know if someone's throwing some hate at you in your DMs. More than happy to do it. Fight in the comments. That's the reason why these motherfuckers exist. These fucking racists that want to post some shit, that want to say some stuff, they get no pushback. Fight back. That's not the way our army's supposed to be. And everyone's like, oh, and don't get me wrong. I'm not saying both sides are going to have their agitators in this. Both sides are going to be, they're going to want, because some of them just can't get over whatever, or just like the fight. Hey, the holiday's done. The holiday's passed. Now, let's talk about the units.
And real fast, just to answer Kaz's question, why did it take the extra 2 years? They deliberately withheld the information.
Correct.
That's just deliberately withheld it.
Correct.
There we go.
Correct. There you go. So let's talk about the units. That was supposed to have been a day off for everyone. And I guarantee it, the 101st, the 3rd Infantry Division, the 1st Armored Division, name your division. I think with the exception of the 82nd, because, I don't know, Center of the Universe, Becca Bragg, whatever, back at Liberty.
Yeah.
They made their soldiers work on that day. And then they said they would get a comp day, which we're waiting to see if that comp day is happening. Because then you, as an Army leader, not really supporting Army values, right? Isn't there an NCOER form that says supports EEO or some shit like that? And if you're making your soldiers, if you're making your soldiers working on a holiday that celebrates the freeing of the slaves, you're not supporting Army values with EEO. You're not supporting it.
No.
I love it. I love this back and forth shit. These EUCOM rotations, man. I'm telling you what, these EUCOM rotations are what destroy. We see it in the inbox every fucking day. You're destroying your fucking units with this bullshit. We're destroying the Army with this shit. I was just talking to some friends about, just one friend. I was talking about the Army should just go on GRF cycle, which is the Global Response Force. The whole Army should go the model of 18th Airborne Corps with the way they do their modeling for deployments and how they deploy and how they do PME and all that. Because it's almost like we got so comfortable with the GWAT that we lost all those fucking taking care of the soldiers part and the garrison shit that I like I said, I say this again. I mean, we've said this before, Spanky. Soldiers today
retrain them.
Yeah. Soldiers today have it worse than what me and you had.
Oh, absolutely. Like there was a time when, family time was enforced. And if you're going to get back to a garrison army, you have to get back to a garrison army.
Right.
Like, or reenlistment and everything else is never, or retention and reenlistment is never going to get back to what it needs to be for a garrison army.
No.
It's just not.
If you keep treating them like shit.
I'm like, we can all sit there and we know what the problem is, and I see it, but are they going to listen to Spanky? Are they going to listen to Ice? I know they're not.
No.
They're not. We sit there and we can tell them what the problem is. You have a generation of soldiers that raise today's kids, and they're like, that's why they're not joining. But they're not going to listen to us. We raised Gen Z, and that's why Gen Z is not joining. It's because they saw us, spend 20 years at war while we were raising them.
Yeah.
And like, okay, well, now that we're not in Infinity War anymore, like, why are you still working like you are?
Right. And why are we having burnout? Why are our soldiers? Why are our soldiers now? I'm gonna tell you what, and this directly correlates. You know how everyone talks about, oh, it's discipline, oh, it's standards, oh, it's discipline. Hey, look, dude, you can't say it's discipline when you don't give the troops fucking time to do shit. The rooms are all fucked up. They're never in there. They never get to go back in and fucking decompress. So this is a message here that was posted out to everybody, and this is from the battalion commander of the organization that's deployed to EUCOM forward, right? And pick up trash if you walk past it. Yeah, okay, we got it. We know that. Okay. A platoon sergeant and above, 1800 tomorrow. We'll have an ESR class. Okay, here we go. Duty day ends at 2100 ish, not 1700. I'm sorry, man. I was stationed in Germany for almost a decade, and I don't remember seeing rotational units doing this shit back in the day.
No, I've been on rotations. No, when you work till 2100, when you have something to do.
Right. No, it's
needs to be done 2 days.
All you did was move garrison to your forward deployment, and now you're using it as deployed area because you've been to Kuwait. I've been to Kuwait. Yeah. We've been to Europe. We've seen all this shit. You've been to Korea, and you've seen. We've seen units. Yes. The units that are permanent party there.
I was permanent party in Kuwait. And I've seen all the rotational units come over there. They don't do this shit.
No, they don't. Even during they fall into the battle rhythm of the organization. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're not. Yeah. I'm not saying that they're not training.
Or they might be working shift work, and they might be doing this, and they might be working like 24-hour ops, like for a couple weeks here and there. But this is not a daily thing.
Yeah. And I'm sorry if you think EUCOM is a deployment, then I'm gonna tell you what. I will meme the fuck out of you and laugh at you. No, we've not talked about Steve yet. I will meme the hell out of you if you think EUCOM is deployment when I've lived in that country, when I've lived in Germany for so long, on the economy and on post. And so I laugh when everyone's like, this is combat deployment. This is deployment because we're here to deter Russian aggression and blah, 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 blah. Do we need to start?
Well, it doesn't matter if you do that at 1700 or 2100.
Well, does it matter?
Let the kids go to bed.
Yeah, the kids go to bed. I'm sorry. Your normal standard garrison duty days back in the rear. And I'll say this. We could post what you guys are doing. I mean, hell, we just had a fucking CSM get a DUI and nothing happened to him. We've got no word about him.
Or maybe he wouldn't have got a DUI if he was at work till 2100.
Ooh, yeah, that's right.
Well, why was he not there?
I don't know.
Why was he not on duty?
Yeah.
And why was he able to be out drinking? I bet he had GO on.
Oh yeah. See, and that's another thing too. Is like that's why I don't believe in. Oh, you're listening to Sholo, Arizona. Well, there you go. Yeah, exactly that. JD says that he feels sorry for the families that are affected by this. You ain't lying.
Oh yeah, like when can they call home?
When can they call home? When?
It's easier than ever to call home for free now with the internet and messaging and everything else. It's not like you got to go wait in line at a trailer with 6 phones.
I almost feel like
you had to 25 years ago.
I almost feel like just go ahead and we should just start off a WTF moments Ukraine rotation or you know what I mean? For EUCOM forward. This is EUCOM. These are the same guys. And we're finding out we're making it a correlation here. We're trying to connect the dots here. And I think the final dot is, and this is our theory, is that exactly that, David, mass punishment. Here's our theory. The commanders that are making the rear D do multiple formations a fucking day, 8 formations a day, and then they make them stay the same day, that's the issue.
No, that's the issue. Is.
And I'll be honest with you,
especially because you have such very few people on rare D that don't have like medical issues or anything else, because you do have to leave some people back that are healthy that can do all of that.
Right, exactly. Now, Tori's look, I like Tori's comment in the chats. Army logic: protect the soldier when alcohol is a problem. Protect the soldier even still when they violate sharp. That's the thing. And I'm gonna tell you what. Hey, commanders. Hey, GOs. If you want to say it's discipline or it's a discipline issue, how about you police yourselves before you start making that shit? Before you make those
pick up the trash when you walk past it.
Yeah, pick it. Ooh, that's a good one on the GOs. Hey, pick up the trash if you walk past it. If the leaders would just police themselves overseas, I'm telling you what, the Joes are seeing this shit too. And we posted it. We posted a fucking we posted the picture of soldiers that were at a club that weren't supposed to be there because it was off limits, right? And then They're the ones that's off. But then we posted pics of them in the club. And everyone's like, well, why did you post it? It's no big deal. It's soldier in the club. You're right. It's not a big deal. There are soldiers in the club. However, these are their leaders that are telling them that they cannot go to said club. These are the same leaders that are telling them this is a GO1, but they're all fucking drinking. These are the same soldiers that are watching their leaders when you say, don't go out there and fuck the locals, are out there fucking the locals. You are violating the very same policy that you're slamming your soldiers on. That's what, yeah, exactly that. Don't throw the trash on the ground. Kick the trash out.
Kick the trash out.
Kick the trash out. So I love the everyone's, well, you guys are, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's these soldiers are out there having a good time at a club in the local economy. Yeah, that's what I did when I was stationed in Europe. But you guys are making it like a fucking fob mentality. It's funny that they deployed Infinity War to Europe. They deployed the GWOT mentality to Europe. It's like, dude.
Oh, they did it to Korea too when they started putting the rotational units on Korea. And then it's like, oh, you got to lock them down and they can't go anywhere. It's like, let these soldiers go.
Right.
Let them because then what happens is if you lock them down and you put that GWOT mentality on them, then they fuck up.
Yep, exactly.
That's when they're like, oh, they're like.
Well, see, I got just right before the show, I got the streets from the said locale of the unit, and so just real quick, asking about, hey, what about, hey, we got listeners out of Korea too. Hey, what's up? So starting off, there are a lot of vehicles, and this quote unquote, so starting off, there are a lot of vehicles in our fleet that are deadline due to safety hazard. The battalion commander and sergeant major told us all NCOs and COs to tell us that if it can roll, it goes outside the base to drive, which is a huge safety risk. And it's going to end up killing one of my fellow comrades. I know me and others have been working 7 days a week for almost 3 weeks now. This unit does not care about our safety or our health. The NCOs, Sergeant First Class and above, don't give a fuck about us and just watch us do half the work all the time anyways while they lollygag and sit in the office. Oh, because they probably want to go to the club. And basically, NCOs are thinking that privates can make them do their personal chores. And I guess there's some stuff that NCOs are doing with their Joes that may be morally and unethically sound. And so we're waiting for the details for that. So commanders, and this is a quote unquote, commanders are being bossed around by the first sergeant. For those who don't know, the commander is the highest ranking soldier in the company. That's right. That's a good point.
I mean, on paper.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Well, just say, hey, you're sure a surfer sergeant. You may run the company, but I fucking command it. That's what that needs. The whole mentality is that commanders need to go back to asserting their command authority, and Big Sarge is the one that's fucking doing it. It's Big Sarge. This is what it is. Weapons are expected to be clean without half the supplies given to us, and then soldiers making less than. And this is he's like personal rant. Soldiers making less than $1,900 a month, working close to damn near 16 hours a day and getting paid. I'm not even 21 yet, and I have injuries that are going to last me for the rest of my life. That's just one fucking quote. The other quote that we got. On top of working 09 to 2100 every day of the week, even Saturday and Sunday, they're having soldiers do PT on Saturday and Sunday. This is EUCOM. What's going on? So I'm like, well, you're right. What is going on? Okay, I think we're gonna have to do a EUCOM day or something like that. Get some posts generated just for the EUCOM. Just real quick to understand that if you have units that are coming back and there's a fucking snafu with dates and redeployment dates, U.S. Army W.T.F moments and W.T.F Nation will not post redeployment dates and times and dates. That's for you. That right there. That's a little too close to the OPSEC thingy, and we're not going to violate that. So we were definitely not going to post. So if you send us some tea, leave out the dates.
Yeah.
Because
and dates and times change all the time.
Exactly.
That's the Air Force's fault.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, and contracted air, of course. Contracted air out of Kuwait is always
seriously, that's gonna never get fixed ever unless you buy your own plane.
Right.
Get your own ride home.
Yeah, get your own ride home. So so that's one of the biggest things too that I think soldiers need to understand is that, hey, you better you have some flexibility. There are some Army things that happens, but this right here, this I'm sorry, man. I cannot see why somebody imagine being stationed in Germany watching this shit happening. Imagine being stationed at some of these places and going, what the fuck? Why is this unit doing PT every day?
Why are they waking me up with all of this running cadence on a Sunday?
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah. Don't they have the European quiet hours shit going on? What's going on? Why? You know, it's always funny. I mean, I was told when I first got assigned to U.S. Army Europe that there's the U.S. Army Europe, and then there's the U.S. Army. It's a different army out here. I'm like, what? No way. It's the Army. They're going to be different. And then as I was stationed there, and then the GWAT was going on, then I'm like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. Everyone's, you know, they had got rotational units doing their shit before they headed off to Iraq or Afghanistan. I'm like, God, man. So I think personally, I think we should. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have rotational units. I just think the way we're going about it is wrong. We're not, if you're on garrison, whatever, it's almost like the firehouse. You know, I'm making a wild comparison here, but it's like the fire department at the firehouse, and they have firefighters around the area hanging out doing their normal garrison stuff. And then if there's an emergency, then they get ready and they go do their stuff, right? Well, the same thing should be for these rotational. I don't know. Something's got to give, because I'm gonna tell you what, you're burning the kids out, and you know, if we don't address this, then I think it's going to get worse. Like going back on the Sharp thing, we should not have, Alex says we should not have rotational units. I agree.
I agree. I mean, why did we take all these units out?
Yeah, exactly. I think we should put both divisions back in Europe with a headquarters to command them, and a corps and some brigades. I don't know, the way it used to be. And so that way,
exactly.
And so that way, it's you know, you're seeing it happening. So it's like, it's like I said, stationed in Europe, 1st Armored Division was there. The 3rd Infantry Division was there, and then it became the 1st Infantry Division, and it was there. It was already there. They were already stationed there, and there was already separate brigades there. There was already Divardi there. They had a headquarters. They had a. So again, it's one of those things to where I'm like, dude, we've done this smart before. Why can't we fucking do this smart right now? It's almost like I don't know. Did you like kick I don't know. Did you kick out everybody that was, you know, smart in this?
I mean, it's just looking like if you're going to keep sending all these rotational units back over there, you might as well just, you know, go ahead and put them permanent units back over. Right.
Well, even Poland,
back in Korea, in Europe.
Yeah. Poland offered Fort Trump. I know we joke around and stuff like that about a post being named Trump, but they were making the hyperbole about making a post for Fort Trump, and that'd have been good enough. That would have been not Fort Trump, but yeah, exactly. You know, yeah. Third ID would break Germany somehow. Third ID was already there. That's what I'm saying there, Baconator. It was already there. It was already there. There was no need to move it, no need to chain it. So anyways, we're going to take a quick break right now. And then with our host, I'm the host. Wait a minute. We're the hosts. Wait, our guest.
Yes, that's us.
Yeah, that's us. So going to have our guest, retired Master Sergeant Jack Dona, to talk about, man. Look, this is a Monday edition topic, but that's going into Sergeant's Time topics, if that makes any sense. So that's why
I have to allow it every now and then.
Yeah, exactly. So this is kind of one of the things. Bringing this Stolen Valor shit just blows me the fuck away. So stand by, refill your glasses, hit the head, and then we'll be right back. So stand by, shouts.
Shot.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Take it from me, Ice. You can't just float around space not caring about stuff forever.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Shit in the bag, Pogue.
Nothing feels the same. Let it all be All you techies and TV addicts, don't mean to this, don't mean to bring static. All you Klingons in your grandma's house, grab your backstreet friend and get loud. Blowing doors off inches, grab you with the pinches. And no, I didn't retire, I'll snatch you off with the needle nose pliers.
With the evil you never seen before. Gliding in the glaze, like gold in the fucking way. Like a person with the bass, so not goofy like they're in a haste, so I'm a hip-hop, making it nice with practice me running that you know. Alright.
We'll drive our ships to new land. Fight the home, sing and cry. Valhalla, I am coming.
Remain calm, no alarm, 'cause my bomb ain't fast, so what's up with that? I got friends and family that I respect. When I think I'm too good, they put me in check. Don't believe when I say I'm no better than you, except when I rap, so I guess it ain't true like that, Joel, and you just don't stop. Guaranteed to make your body rock.
Check it out. What's it all about? Work it out. Let's turn this party out. Check it out. What's it all about? Work it out. Let's turn this party out.
Say, Doc, what's the condition? I'm a man that's on a mission. Said, son, you better listen. Stuck in your is an electrician. Like a scientist. When I'm applying this method of controlling my mind like Einstein or rap the Duke of What? Now, hey, nigga, but now what the deal? I didn't know you go for that mass appeal. So I'm calling to Lucci. Some potato. I stole your mic, but you won't see it later. 'Cause I work magic like a magician. I add up the mathematician of the bank cashier, engineer. I wear cotton and I don't wear your. Always sweet with
She say I'm an abracadabra. In the whip, I'm going to cruise past ya. Don't money, don't jump yourself. Put that back on the shelf. Flames blazing, yeah, I'm phasing. My crew's amazing. We're working on the record, just stay patient. Check it out. What's it all about? We're working out. Let's turn this party out. Check it out. What's it all about?
Now I go by the name of the King Admiral. I don't wear a cup nor a job. I bring the that's beyond bizarre, like Miss Piggy. I am the one with the clientele. You say I'd rock, you rock so well. I got class like pink champagne. Let's see, ain't got the microphone, the mic goes stale. Always see.
What is this Facebook Live? I've never heard of this shit.
I am here determined to stop this future atrocity.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
And we are back. Hope you guys pop some popcorn, got your coffee and your shots ready. For my guest Jack, I was gonna call him Jack because he keeps calling me by my rank. Anyways, hey Jack Dona, welcome to WTF Nation Radio and U.S. Army WTF Moments. How you doing, man?
Pretty good. Glad to be on board.
Yeah, dude, it's woo. Okay, so just real quick background story of how me and Jack met. And the thing is that we were talking about Congressman Troy Niels and his unauthorized wear of his a combat infantryman's badge, not his, because he wasn't authorized that. And then we talked a little bit about Steve Slaton, and so we skimmed the top. And of course, you know how the media network works. Somebody says, "Hey, man, they just talked about you. Once you post it up, they just this and this." And I was notified hey, Jack wants to wants to shoot the shit with you. So hey, all right, it's cool. Let's shoot the shit. We started talking, and we realized there's more to the story that I had posted. Now, to refresh your memory from the last segment when we did, it was our scammers and stolen valor stuff. And I said, I like the fact that these guys are calling Steve Slaton out. I'll probably call him Slaton in between. It's like however you guys call me, Ramos or Ramos. But anyways, so here is the door hangers. I love this. This is awesome. This is like psyop shit right here. Dropping leaflets, dropping door mailers, saying that Steve Slaton is stolen valor, fake Vietnam combat veteran. Now, you guys remember I posted some DD-214s. We didn't get too much in the details about it. That one was the actual one and one was the fake one. Well, Jack is the guy that with Anthony Anderson from Stolen Valor, Guardians of Valor, highlighted this stuff. So welcome, Jack. Sorry for the long intro.
No worries. Glad to be on board, Ken. So a little bit about my background for your listening audience. I'm a retired U.S. Army Master Sergeant. I spent roughly 4 decades in the intelligence community as an intelligence electronic warfare maintainer, and then subsequently as a field systems engineer for Department of Defense. Been overseas quite a few times, been to the sandbox as a contractor. Most notable thing that I'm most proud of, achievement that I was inducted into the Military Intelligence Hall of Fame as a Knowlton recipient. So I am a Knowlton recipient. My name is in the book.
Oh, wow. Congrats. I didn't know that. Congrats.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I worked for the NSA for roughly 5 years. So I ran a training cell for the National Security Agency for 5 years. So that's pretty much my background. What happened, how I got drug into this was I do a lot of totally free work, analytics and some messaging for the some of the elected officials up at the state capitol. So I was approached by retired Lieutenant Colonel Wendy Rogers, who is a sitting state senator up there at the legislature. And basically she contacted me and told me that, and I don't even know who this guy Slaton is, and I don't know who this other guy Blackman is, but basically she told me that there was this guy Walt Blackman. He's running for the state legislature against this guy Slaton, and this guy Blackman had doctored a DD Form 214, and that she wanted me to analyze it, and she wanted me to analyze the Slaton document. And she gave me less than 24 hours because I guess they were going to do a radio program and they were going to expose all of this. So I took a look at both documents, and my initial analysis, and I still stand by it. My initial analysis was I found that the purported document DD Form 214 attributed to Steve Slaton appeared to have aged correctly, that there was no recent alterations, that it appeared that it was a period correct DD Form 214, and there was some problems attributed with formatting and a seal that I'd never seen before on the Walt Blackman documents. So that was my initial analysis, my preliminary. They did the radio show, and of course they said, oh, look, Jack Dona said this, Jack Dona said that, this and that. But I read the article by Molly Ottman. Molly Ottman is the one who broke this with Guardians of the Green Berets, Steve Anson. And I said, well, I better take a second look at this, a more intense look at it. And so this instead of having like 16, 17 hours to do an analysis, I took about 4 or 5 days. And at the end of it, I wrote an addendum report that basically I stated that the DD Form 214 attributed to by Steve Slaton is likely a doctored, somebody doctored that. I don't know if Steve Slaton did it. I don't know, somebody, but it appears to have been doctored. There's awards on there that he was awarded that do not appear in the National Archives copy. Steve Anson of Guardians of the Green Beret actually sent me communications that he received from the National Archives, and the National Archives come right out and say that one right there that you've got on the screen, that right there does not exist in any of the databases. So what you have is you have a situation here where it appears that someone added, they added the good conduct, they added an Army Commendation Medal, they added, I think there's a good conduct medal on there also, but the big one is the Vietnam Service Medal. Now, where do I begin?
We got plenty of time. Go for it.
Yeah. So if you look at the timeline, we'll start with the timeline. Okay, Mr. Slaton was born on February 15th, 1955. Okay, by the DD Form 214, both of them, it says that he entered active duty on June 29th, 1973. So that would have made him 18 years old. He came in under MOS 67 Yankee, and that's an AH-1G helicopter repairman. It's basically the Cobra gunship.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you do the math, you figure basic training, maybe did a week of casual, then he did his 8 weeks. So he likely graduated in September of 1973. Okay. Then 67 Series CMF had an AIT of roughly, I think it was like 10 to 12 weeks. And so he likely graduated in November of 1973. So in November of 1973, November-December timeframe, he would have then been subsequently assigned to Korea, which he was. He was assigned to Camp LaGuardia, South Korea, which is in Uijeonbu. It's up north. And here's where it gets crazy. He's claiming to actually be a helicopter pilot, and he claims that he was on secret missions from the 128th Aviation Assault Helicopter Unit, and that he was sent in embedded to do secret missions in Vietnam. Yeah, that's the 128th yearbook.
Yeah, I'm using your arts and crafts to help the story along. Go for it, man. This is good. I love this. This is some good tea.
What was really funny was we had a guy on, and I didn't even realize it. I mean, he told me his background. We have a guy in our think tank. I run a think tank called the Conrad Group, and this guy's a retired GS-15. You know, he was a DIA. He was Defense Intelligence Agency, and he goes, hey, Dona. You know, I was in the 128th. That's his yearbook. Yeah, that he was actually at the 128th 3 years after Slaton was there.
As a matter of fact, now that you mentioned that, I got the thread from his pictures, and that's the one right there that he was at Camp LaGuardia. This is, and he even said that I was assigned to the 128th for the whole year of 1978. My yearbook cover looks nearly identical. Here are the pictures from Camp LaGuardia, Korea, that I found on the web. It's gone now, and the subway train station runs through the middle of it. And so,
that's a different guy. That's
a different guy. Oh shit! Okay, there you go.
That guy saw the posting, and so him and the guy on my think tank, they got together because they were trying to come up with a name, somebody who had been there 3 years before. We're still trying to find somebody that may have known Slaton back then. But so I'm looking at this and I'm saying, listen, I come from an aviation background. That was I was intelligence electronic warfare. I was on fixed wing surveillance aircraft, the OB-1D, the RB-1D.
Yep. Oh man, yeah. So just to Yeah, exactly. I was about ready to say, I brought this up a couple times that I was stationed at the 504th MI Brigade at 15th MI Battalion with Guardrail and OV1 and the Pioneer and Hunter UAS. So, oh man, you're speaking my language, man. You're speaking my language.
Yeah, in fact, when the 15th stood down their Mohawks, they took the whole inventory of Mohawks and they moved them all to the 224th.
Yep.
And we went through all of the 15th MI stuff, and we basically direct exchanged all of our junk with their stuff, and then we sent everything to Toby Hanna.
Yeah.
So,
Dude, that was an awesome. That I was saying that time in AE aerial exploitation was awesome because that was you're seeing new technologies emerge, and the new guardrail coming out. Man, that's a whole nother podcast. So real quick, so that other guy that I just posted, that's a different guy. Then that's a different
guy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a different guy. So anyway, so those two guys got together and they said, hey, there were a lot of old timers that kept extending that had been in the NAM, but with the 128th Air Assault, but they like the Ville life in Korea. They loved being overseas. And so they had extended for year after year after year. And so, I spoke to him, says, hey, GIs talk, and stuff, were there any tall tales of any super secret classified missions coming from the 120? He says, absolutely none. There was no talk like that whatsoever. Now, the Vietnam guys talked about when they were in Vietnam, but according to the yearbook and according to both of these guys, the last assets were pulled out February, March of 73.
Mm-hmm.
So that's way before.
Yeah, exactly.
Slaton even enlisted. But see, here's where it gets really, really crazy. It gets crazy because he's claiming to be a helicopter pilot, okay? But where's his crew member badge?
Yeah.
It's not on either one of the DD Form 214. So somebody forgot. It's like, wait a minute, if I would have claimed to be a pilot, I better type.
Right. Yeah. As a matter of fact, let me pull the Doctor 214 up. Let me pull it back up again. Let me put
There's no air crew member badge.
Exactly. And if you were a right seater on a Mohawk, or if you were a crew member, if you were an operator working the systems in the guard. See, that's another thing too. I'm so glad that I'm familiar with this too, because if you're authorized to wear crew time, if you got crew time manning the equipment, then you're authorized to wear the wings.
Yep.
And so you're right. I don't see the only thing I see now. This is the part that makes me laugh. Is there's not only there's no crew badge in there, but I have never fucking heard of a Nixon Vietnamese program. What? Hang on. For you guys that don't know, you can't read it. You guys can see the screen. Let me blow it up here. So here we go. The Nixon Vietnamese program in 1974. What is that? What is he even talking about in this post?
That's the ultra super secret mission that Colonel Kurtz.
Hey, I went to jump school in my 30s too. Come on, we can relate. Ooh, maybe we don't know what he's talking. Ooh, maybe we don't know. Yeah. So he he came in. He didn't have the badge. I got Anthony Anderson. Stolen Valor is inside the chats too. And so he was with B.A. Baracus from the A team.
He was. Anthony was the second guy to grab onto this, and he pulled all the records too, and he got the same response from the National Records Center, and then military phonies got involved in it. Same answer, and then I guess Valor Guardians was the last ones. They grabbed onto it, and they got the same response. And Bram Resnick of NBC News, he pulled the records. He got the same response. So I mean, it's like this guy, Steve Slaton, who's running for State House Representatives up there in Phoenix, has got the only DD Form 214 in the world that shows that he served in Vietnam. So, there's a problem here.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, let me grab his 2-1, because now we use SRBs and ERBs and stuff like that. And so let me window cap his. Because back in the day, we used to have what's called a 201 file. And inside that 201 file was the 2 alpha and 2-1. The 2 alphas that had all your some significant information. The 2-1 is a green folder that goes inside your 201 file and has a listing of your assignments, your scores, your combat deployments. It's basically what the SRB, or what we used to call the ERB, that's what it is now. That's what it is now. So this is what everybody has been able to find. This document right here is the 2-1 that everyone's saying, hey, look, this is the streets. Did we also have like the wasn't there a guy who a reporter, a Military Times reporter, he's the guy that maintains the Wall of Valor, the digital Wall of Valor. Even he came out and said,
oh really?
Yeah, wow. This is BS too. Or maybe no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm getting my Stolen Valor stories confused because there's him and Congressman Niels right now that are perpetrating their fucking fraud.
There's so many of them.
Yeah, it is.
Depressing.
Yeah, exactly. So, hey, also I want to give a shout out to Mountain Daily Star too for linking us up together, man. This has been a good trip. So without them, if you guys don't see it, they're in the chats. They're we follow them.
Molly Ottman.
Yeah, that's who I was about ready to say. Molly Ottman, your trusted news source, of course, for Navajo and Apache counties. So I always help out their plug. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna tell you what, they're the ones that were ringing the bell on this, and Doug Sterner. Thank you, Anthony Anderson. It was Doug Sterner. These guys are the ones that brought it up. These guys. Molly was the one that brought this to attention. Now, everyone says, okay, why? Look, okay, he's Stolen Valor. He's posting all this shit up. Why is it important for the veteran community to know what makes this a big deal with this guy, with Steve Slaton?
Well, it's important for one very basic reason. I mean, besides the fact that it deals with integrity, and I mean we were all drilled that when we first joined the military. You know, your integrity is that's it. Your word is your bond. Once you lose your integrity, that's it. You're gone. I mean, there's any number of problems with. Say he wins the election, what guarantee do we have that if this was done on his behalf? I don't know if he actually doctored this DD Form 214 or not. Okay, but yeah, he remembered to wear a crew member badge that time.
Yeah, exactly. Look at that shit, man. Like what?
Yeah, but anyway, I mean, what's to say he wouldn't take a bribe?
Yeah. No, you're right.
What's to say somebody couldn't turn around and say, okay, we have the goods on you. We know you doctored these forms. We're blackmailing you now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean,
at this point though, he's not. I just checked out his socials, and he's not posted since the end of May. He's been real quiet on the internet, and so Gary says in the chats he's trying to gain a position on false claims, and what is he going to do in that position? And that's a good point. What's his? I mean, we didn't even talk about where he's running. Where is he running, and who's he running against, and what district is it in Arizona?
It's Legislative District 7. It's up north. It's the Payson, Sholo area, northern Arizona, Apache County. He's running. There's 5 other people running against him. He's running dead last right now. I think he's polling like 6% in the polls. And here's where it gets really, really crazy. Okay, this guy is being supported by Wendy Rogers, Senator Wendy Rogers. I mean, everything that has been revealed, not just by me, but by Anthony, by Steve Anson, Valor Guardians, all of these different all of this information, to include the email with the actual communications coming from the National Records Center. All of this has been forwarded to these politicians, all of them, the ones that have endorsed him, to include Wendy Rogers, and they will not condemn it. I can't. It's just it boggles my mind. The only response that I keep getting, and Janine Ford this morning mentioned that basically she got a response from the Carrie Lake campaign saying, we will not support or endorse anyone who is convicted of stolen valor. So here we go. I mean,
So now this gets into that goes into the next topic. It's almost like they're like censoring this shit. It's like to what gain that if the entire veteran community knows this guy's a fraud, and the veteran community has proven for him to be a fraud,
Yes.
what's happening in the other? What's the other angle? This is a mystery because Wendy. Someone said I've emailed her and she blocked me on social media and called me a liar on a radio show. And this is Wendy Rogers said on Monday that the radio on the radio that he is a combat veteran. This is from Melody Judd in the X chats, and so I emailed her as well.
By now, Ken, somebody by now. I mean, this broke in late March of this year, early April.
Yeah.
By now,
That's
by now, somebody would have come forward and said, "Yea, verily, I was with Steve Slaton in Vietnam. We were part of it." All of the. I mean, come on. I worked MI. You worked MI. I mean, look, all of the classified stuff from the Vietnam era, it's all been declassified. Yes, we were in Laos. Yes, we were in Cambodia. And if there was some super secret mission from the 128th to help with the evac of Vietnam, somebody would have stepped forward and said something.
Right, exactly. Not to mention the fact that we also there's a Mac VSOG account on Twitter that highlights all the recon teams and highlights all the unconventional warfare stuff and highlights the declassified clandestine missions that you were just talking about. And I'll be honest with you, going back to the censoring, you just did an interview, didn't you? Did you just do because Anthony's talking about he's been called a fraud, or he's been getting a lot called him a liar on a radio show. But now didn't you just sit in an interview with somebody and
I was just interviewed this morning with Seth Castle by Janine Ford, who used to be a reporter for KPNX, and now she has her own radio show. So she interviewed us this morning. But I think what you're referring to, what you're alluding to, is that radio station up there, KMOG, and it's a big radio station. They broadcast up there in the Payson area, and the one of the anchors there, his name is Colonel Murphy, and he's the one that takes all of the calls, and he has the candidates come on, do their candidate forum, and he invited me and gave me the station manager's contact info and said, "Hey, why don't you come on KMOG?" And I said, "Can I bring Cap Keschel on? Because he's a former intelligence officer. His work's been recognized directly by Trump. And so he says, "Yeah, let's do it." So I paid the $200 for my 1 hour, and we did a little flyer.
Wait, so okay, real quick, I'm gonna tell you right now that no money has been exchanged for Jack to come on. He is here on his free will. I just can't believe that you have to pay. You have to pay for an interview.
Yeah. That's they said you can buy an hour. It's $200. So they took the $200 and we did a little flyer and we were distributing it online and everything. And next thing I know, I get a text message from the station manager and from Colonel Murphy, the anchor that does the show. It says the advertisers and the owners do not want you on. They do not want you and Cap Keschel on. We are going to be returning your money to you. We feel that this is an attack on a candidate and it's an ambush. And so, we don't want you on. And, so, I responded to him and I said, all we're going to do is lay out facts that credible news sources. I mean, Bram Resnick is been around for decades in Arizona, and he's reporter for NBC News, KPNX.
Right.
And all we were going to do was lay out the facts, just like what we're doing right now, Ken.
Right.
And they didn't want it. This is the owners and advertisers were very upset, and we don't want you on. We're going to give you your money back. So I just logged in about a half hour before we went on the show, and they returned my money. So.
Wow.
But,
fucking.
This is what's messed up about this. This is what's so jacked up about them. I mean, it's really freaking stupid because what they're doing is they're stifling speech.
Exactly.
They're stifling free speech. I paid for an hour, okay, and I was very clear about what I was going to talk about. But somebody made some phone calls and said, "Don't let these two guys on. We don't want these two guys on." Now, my response to both the station manager and Colonel Murphy was, my dad escaped communist Nicaragua, okay, in the 40s when the Somozas first came into power. Whole family had to flee communism. And this is how it starts. You start canceling free speech. You start stifling free speech. And this is censorship. I told them this is flat out censorship.
I'm gonna say right now on this too that it is. I'm sorry. Hey, look, I just started doing this video media journalism stuff. But even everybody exactly that. There's people in the comments going, "What the fuck? It's dishonest journalism." Even I know that. First off, if you come on to WTF Nation Radio, U.S. Army WTF Moments, nobody has to pay to come on. They get an hour to shoot the shit with us, and they get to show their wares. I just cannot fathom. I cannot, in my English as a second language mind, that a media outlet would take your money, didn't like what you said, and refund you, and then just not air it. I mean, do you have any video? Did you record that stuff? And then, I mean,
no, I never got to be on. It was supposed to be on. It was going to be on tomorrow between 4 and 5 p.m. And all we did was we did a flyer. It was my photo, Captain Keshel's photo. Hey, we're going to be on KMOG.
Right.
We didn't even say we were going to talk about Slaton. It didn't even say that on the flyer that we distributed.
Mm-hmm.
We were just going to come on the radio show, and all of a sudden they pulled the plug on us, just boom, like that.
Because that. Now, look, we try to be, especially on Sergeant's time, we try to be as apolitical. We want to talk about Army issues and NCO issues and leader issues and stuff like that. I don't know if you heard the first part of the story about how we just talk about general military issues and stuff like that. But this gets into the integrity of now you are now showing somebody who's a fake. He did serve. I'm not saying he's not a fake veteran, but his fake combat veteran status and his accolades and whatever programs he said. It's all fake. I don't even know what's the political affiliation in this stuff. Who are these supporters? Who supports them? Are they Republican? They're Republicans. Okay. Now, are they
Republicans?
I'm just mind blown. I can't believe that a Republican candidate. I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna connect some dots here, but I think there was probably some Republicans involved in getting your shit pulled. I don't want to throw the tinfoil out, but.
I think so too. I think some phone calls were made. I mean, like I said, we didn't even put on the flyer who we were going to talk about. But as soon as they saw that me and Captain K were going to be on there, they pulled the plug. Now, I can't understand for the life of me. I don't want to mention their names because some of them are my friends and everything. But a lot of those people up there served in uniform in the legislature, and their fallback position is. Well, Jack, Mr. Slaton is entitled to due process in a court of law. Who's going to bring the lawsuit? Who's suing who? I mean, listen, if Guardians of the Green Beret and Anthony of Stolen Valor 1, if those guys outed somebody incorrectly, they would have got their pants sued by now.
That's kind of funny because that's the majority of some of the shadiness. Now, again, I don't want to get political, but that's some of the shadiness of that stuff. It's like they want to perpetuate the freedom of speech, and uphold the law, rule of law. But then as soon as fucking something like this comes out, they censored you, pretty much. And then rule of law, bro. You don't need to fucking due process. The process is there. We as veterans exercise that process to highlight this guy's a fraud. This guy's papers ain't legit.
Right. I mean, it's exactly right. And this is what I've been pointing out. It's just, I cannot understand why people have not pulled their endorsements, why people are not speaking out about this. It's almost like they just want to, we'll just shine it. We'll just shine the brass and it'll be okay. We'll just put it off to the side and it'll be okay. And I got to tell you, Ken, it's not. I've spoken with the American Legion commander up there. I've spoken with another group of veterans that meets up there, and they're pissed.
Yeah,
they're freaking extremely pissed, and they're pissed. And the main reason why they're really upset is because you have a retired Lieutenant Colonel, Wendy Rogers, who is a sitting state senator, okay, going around telling everybody Slaton served in Vietnam. He did serve in Vietnam. Now, the last time I spoke with her, I was on speaking terms with her. I imagine I'm not anymore. The last time I spoke to her on the phone, she chastised me for doing my addendum analysis. And I said, what's wrong? I said, what's wrong with it?
Exactly.
Tell me what's wrong with it. I mean, I'm pointing out the fact that there's serious problems with this guy's DD Form 214. And she said to me, hold on to your hat. She said to me, Jack, you don't understand. I've looked into Steve Slaton's eyes. I've seen his soul. I know the man. I know his heart. I'm like, what the hell does that even freaking mean?
That is like some serious cringe shit, though, man. That's like
that's exactly what she said to me. I'm like, what does that even mean?
Oh, because it's funny because because it's me, you, and Anthony go back and forth and exchange DMs and exchange hey, did you see this, or hey, did you see that? And one of the things that Anthony brought his attention, and he's like, he still has his fucking helicopter on his goddamn campaign thing. He's got the helicopter there. Even after being called the fuck out, he's got Steve Slaton right there. Look at that. Hang on, I'm gonna zoom it in there. He's got the care. Look at that.
The Cobra gunship.
The Cobra gunship. Yeah, he's got the AH-1. Now look, man.
Let me comment about this. When the last time that I spoke with Rogers, I had gone to his website, and you can still see it on Guardians of the Green Beret, because they did a screen cap. They did a screen capture of it. I called up Rogers and I said, why does he have retired U.S. Army on his website? He is not retired U.S. Army.
No.
And so right after I said that to her, the next day, lo and behold, it disappeared. But you can still see a screen cap of it,
Yeah, I'm just looking at this stuff right here, and it's just like looking through this stuff, and it's endorsed by Mark Fincham, and he's got all the. He's on there. So that's the thing too, is I never get to find out. Because if I get to find out when somebody's coming on live and you get to call in, I'm going to call in and I'm going to say, hey, dude, and that's something too, is like because now I noticed, and this is just something that I've observed, is that there is, like you said, there's something protecting him, and I don't know. I mean, dude, we talk. Look, no matter the party, it's always one party's blaming each other for whatever conspiracy. This is a fucking conspiracy. This is a conspiracy theory. Dream right here. That I'm surprised that fucking I'm not surprised that most of the individuals on the MAGA side and the Republican side, in the Republican, swimming around in there, or the liberal side with the left swimming around in there, have not said this is like, what the hell's going on?
Well, they did an event. I don't know if you followed this. It was a couple weekends ago. They did an event up there in Sholo at the Trump store at his store.
Oh, yes.
And we got wind of it. Me and the captain got wind of it, and we were burning up the phones. We were calling anybody we could. Do not let Carrie Lake go to this event. Don't let her go to this event. And guess what? She went to the event anyway, and it's
God. See, that's you bring up a good question. Bring up a good point. It was like, so Melody says in the X chat he still has that on his truck. Yesterday when I was downtown, Anthony Anderson says I spoke to Eli Cranes because he endorsed him as well. So they know as well. So I'm wondering.
All know.
I'm like,
I wasn't going to mention Eli's name, but I also mentioned to Congressman Crane, I said, this is not rocket science.
Right.
You have one individual on the planet waving around a DD-214 that the Veterans Administration says doesn't exist. The National Record Center, National Archive says doesn't exist. Military Personnel Record Centers, it doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm. And everybody who tries to report on it gets, well, except for you. We're not deleting shit, by the way. If anybody wants to call me up and says this interview is what I ain't deleting it. Sorry, the W.T.F. Nation is owed this because there are some veterans and active duty military personnel that are in Arizona, that live in Arizona, that need to know this shit. They really need, because I'm surprised Carrie Lake hasn't said, hey, what the fuck, dude? What's going on? Because
Oh, she did. She gave a statement. She gave a statement she gave a statement to Janine Ford, the one I interviewed with this morning, with the captain. And basically the statement was along the lines of, we will not support and we will not endorse anyone who is convicted of stolen valor. Well, okay, so here's the deal with this. Okay, it's my understanding, and I'm not an attorney, but the Stolen Valor Act basically entails the top medals: Medal of Honor, Silver Star. I think the Service Crosses. If you try to make any type of money by saying you were awarded those, then they can nail you. They can nail you for stolen valor. But like I think Mr. Resnick put it very eloquently. Basically, it may not meet the level of stolen valor as a violation of the law and the act itself, but this is clearly stolen valor.
Yeah.
As far
And
as
I think,
integrity.
Maybe the language of the act needs to be changed. Maybe somebody needs to introduce legislation to change the language of the act to where we add veteran status or add falsification. Because I'm going to tell you what, if I falsify a document, it's my ass, or it's actually anybody's ass. And falsifying a DD-214, you would think that's a document that you could get, and even says any alterations makes this null and void. We always get told you can't, even when you sign documents. If you sign documents, are you under the penalty of perjury? Do you sign this according to the 1974 Privacy Act? Blah blah blah. You get threatened when you sign military documents all the time. And Anthony just said he could be convicted for forgery of a DD-214. So I really don't get. If he did it, as I'm saying, it's almost like you're fucking Carrie Lake is fucking tap dancing around this topic. Well, only if he's convicted, knowing that's like saying, I'm not going to support anybody who's not been convicted of a jaywalking offense. Well,
I go you one better. Yeah, I see that you just my neighbor just ran over his wife and multiple times, but he's not really guilty of murder until he's convicted in a court of law. Come on.
Oh, dude, it's like the Army's domestic violence shit. The Army pisses me off with the domestic violence stuff all the fucking time. It's like, make up your fucking mind. It's like domestic violence in the Army. You should ask if you get thrown in jail or thrown underneath the prison after your court martial. And then they want to have these additional agencies that go through. And clearly we saw somebody get the shit beat out of them, or clearly this video of abuse and assault. And the Army's like, well, we just gave him a general letter of reprimand. And you're like, what? Why? If the guy was a civilian, I mean, I think, I'll be honest with you. I mean, this right here, everyone in the comments here, the law centered around awards, medals should be also include claims of actions. Exactly that, Michael in the Facebook chats. And then we have Alex in the Facebook chat, Stolen Valor Act 2013. That's what Jack is talking about. Law amends the federal criminal code to make it a crime for claim received valor award specific in the act with the intention of obtaining money, property, or other tangible benefit by convincing another that he or she received the award. That's the change of the language that we're talking about, guys.
Well, then maybe I don't know, because basically if a couple of Vietnam veterans come forward and they say, hey, you know what? We gave money to this guy's campaign specifically because we're NAM vets. We really are fought there, and we thought he was a brother in arms.
Right, exactly. And going back to the other part too, this also Stolen Valor Act amends the federal criminal code. Sorry, English is my second language again. Otra vez en español. And so the provisions relating to fraudulent claims. Now I'm reading from the act. Subject to a fine, imprisonment not more than a year for individual to intent, blah 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 blah, who fraudulently holds himself a recipient of the Medal of Honor, Distinguished Service Cross, Navy Cross, Air Force Cross, Silver Star, Bronze Star, I didn't know that, Combat Action Ribbon, and Combat Infantryman's Badge.
Wow.
We got a congressman walking around flaunting to everybody that he's Congressman Troy Niels. He's been on our radar, and as well as you know this too. He's on everybody's radar. Yeah. So I'll be honest with you. I think Carrie Lake is just using that as kind of like, okay, we know he's not going to get busted for this shit, so I'll just say that. Or, you know what I mean? Does she?
There's no expiration date on doing the right thing.
Yeah. I
mean, and the thing is what it is. It's the thing speaks for itself. Now it's my understanding. I heard from Guardians of the Green Beret that Wendy Rogers, Senator Wendy Rogers, put out a memorandum, and he said he's going to try and get a copy of it. That basically she said, well, even though it doesn't show up on my DD Form 214, I was in combat. I flew combat missions. I mean, you can't do stuff like that. I mean,
I would say somebody just dropped it in the chats. I would look in her records.
Maybe somebody is. I don't know.
Maybe we should look at her records, because I'll be honest with you. And here's another thing too. And I'm speaking from the sergeant major side of the house and all that, and helping soldiers prepare for the board and my records themselves. On your SRB, your soldier record brief, which is the 2 Alpha 2-1, change, is that I have time that says overseas time, but I also have time indicated it says C on it. And it's the same fucking thing that everybody else has. So I think getting an SRB, or soldier record brief, not a DD-214, but an SRB, but in for, God dang it, now I'm gonna throw up my 2D-214 and shit, start posting what it looks like. It says you are deployed in specific areas. I find that comment to be a little bit sus, because there's a paragraph that goes in the remarks block that says served in, like my shit says served in Iraq, served in Iraq, served in Africa, served in Djibouti, served in Ethiopia.
Well, it should also show, that's on that, but on the DD from 214, it'll show the campaign medals.
Yes. It not only does it show the campaign medals, but it also denotes the subsequent amount of awards. Like for me, because I'm old, we're both old, our National Defense Service Medal has a Bronze Star in it, because it was during the awarding of the first time it was given back in the 80s and 90s, or actually the 90s, and now to the GWAT. And so my NSDM, everyone's looking at your shit's weird. How come it's got a star in there? I was like, well, I'm old. That's what it's got. Freaking. Oh, Doug Sterner's in the chat. Hey, Doug, how you doing? Good connecting. Doug Sterner. He's the guy that does the Wall of Honor for Military Times. Doc, man, we got just everyone else is just joining us in the chats tonight. That's what I'm talking about.
I thought wasn't Sterner also the author of the Stolen Valor Act, the updated Stolen Valor Act? I thought he was.
Did he? Is he? Oh, man, this is. Well, we'll see. He's going to a little bit of a few seconds delay. Maybe he'll pop in there with that factoid.
But that's another anomaly, Ken. If you look at the DD Form 214, the purported one that Slaton is waving around, the medals are not. They're supposed to be your highest award and then steps down. And
right.
If you look at the DD Form 214. It's exactly opposite. It's like,
Yeah, because I'm looking at my round. Service in Iraq, this time to this time. Service in Iraq, this time to this time. Service in Djibouti, this time to this time. Service in Ethiopia, this time. And it says member has field first term retirement, and goes through all the awards. It goes to Army Conduct Medal, 8th award, because I'm old.
Yep.
Army Campaign Medal with Campaign Star, 3rd award. So it actually has the okay, yeah. So yeah, there we go. Yes, the original. His wife wrote the 2005 Stolen Valor. Man, that's what I'm talking about. Man, we got royalty up in the chats right now. God, yeah, that's incredible. We'll appreciate you guys coming and joining us. So, you're right. The DD-214. I'm looking at the foreign service. Foreign service has the block, but it doesn't say it's denoted as combat time. Your SRB would. I'm gonna have to prove that up. It's like for my let's see, foreign service
and your campaign medals. Like if you have the Afghanistan medal or the Iraq medal, that means you were boots on the ground.
Yep.
Or you were up in the air flying in the air.
Yep, exactly. Yep. And the second page of a DD-214 is in the event. It's called a DD-214 Charlie. So all the stuff that won't be like, let's put it this way, all this clandestine stuff would not be able to fill up on the front page. You'd have to go to the Charlie page to add the additional stuff on there, because that's where I have.
Yeah, I have one too. I have a 2-pager also.
Yeah, exactly. So when someone says, "Can I have a copy of your DD-14?" I was like, "Which one do you want? The 2-pager or the 4-pager?" Because it's like freaking, because they have the different codes. And so I'm looking at the stuff right here: parachute badge, combat action badge, blah blah blah, jump master school. Yeah, so it's got all my school on the subsequent things. So you're right, because that block right there it's not big enough. Block 18 was where the remarks would be at. And
so where does it say? So where does it say he went to pilot school?
It would, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It actually would be, it would be into the 214 Charlie. Then it would be, right there, right? Or it would be in his, see, that's something too. It would be in his 2-1, part of his 201 file.
And then here's another point I wanted to point out, because a bunch of aviation guys were talking, and the GS-15 and everything. They were saying that basically when you got to Camp LaGuardia, 128, you were on six months. If you were like a star performer, you were 6 to 12 months OJT. They wouldn't let you get into the cockpit of one of these birds unsupervised. You were under direct supervision. So why would the United States Army take presumably an E2, okay, trainee that hasn't even finished his OJT, okay, and we're recruiting you for a super top secret mission in the NAM. I mean, it makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah. What's crazy, Raymond says, what's crazy, you can have a star from a campaign in Iraq and Afghanistan for one tour, but 2 different campaigns. Exactly. That's when we went to the Global War on Terrorism medal and the Global War on Expeditionary medal, the Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary. So there's a flux point in, I'm not talking about Vietnam, but there's a flux point in the Afghan, when those medals came out, there's a flux where people can wear the choice of either or, and then you can't wear the other one anymore. And it gets a little confusing. And so, my biggest thing is that I don't see how anybody with presented evidence like this could say, I'm just going to look into this until we have a trial or convicted of. This is something that you don't get convicted of. This is like a record. This would be like a records check for you attending a university. If you said you have a degree in such and such, well, people are going to take your word for it until someone goes, like you just said, like a buddy would say, I don't remember you there in my class. You said you graduated from this college. And then that's where the digging goes. Hey, look, according to your transcripts, you only did 1 semester. You didn't get a degree. You know what I mean? It's you're right. No one's going to get busted for it. But this rule of law stuff that the fucking politicians like to throw out, and we have is another thing too. Like I said, I'm politically homeless, but you have members within their own party saying this is wrong, and it's somebody said this is as bad as a Patriot. It's like a Fed, like it's a PSYOP. It's a Patriot Front PSYOP. Feds. Everyone thinks there's feds and stuff. The same thing is this: why is Steve Slaton being protected like this? And I don't know. And when you're being addressed to it, hey, dude, I got proof. I'll send you digital copies on my phone and shit.
I'll tell you something, Ken. This really hits home for me because I just lost my dad 12 days ago. Oh, man. And he did fight in Vietnam. He was there twice in Vietnam. And he was in the Korean War. He's almost 92. He would have been 92 this coming Tuesday. This really hits home for me because, every day since this has been going on, I just lost my dad.
I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry.
I look at my picture of Dad, and, he was a navigator. He was on the C-46, C-47, Commando and Skytrain. And then he got into computers in the Air Force, and it's an affront to any Vietnam veteran who served in that hellhole of Southeast Asia. I mean, it's an affront. It really is. And I can't understand these politicians that cannot see that. It's outrageous.
Well, everyone's expressing their condolences, and we express your condolences to your dad, man. I didn't realize it was so soon, man. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. It's been rough. That's why I've decided to be. And I've been doing all of these interviews because of the memory of my dad. His name was Master Sergeant Orlando J. Dona. He spent 22 years in the Air Force. So,
brother, I'm so sorry. I recently lost my brother, and I had to take a break for months, almost a year. It seemed like. I lost him in November, and I didn't come back until March because the same thing. I was fucked up. So, I know the feeling.
I am too, but Dad would want me to soldier on, and that's why I'm here with you.
That's right,
Sergeant Major.
No, dude, stop calling me Sergeant Major, man. I'm Ken. Come on.
Yeah.
I haven't called you by your name yet or your rank yet. So, my biggest thing too is that you're right. My dad was a Vietnam veteran too, and he served in Pleiku, and he was wounded. He wasn't there long. He didn't do many tours because he got wounded when he showed up. And my biggest thing is that I can't. I mean, this guy is saying that he served around the same time our fathers served. And
yeah, my dad was at Tan Son Nhut and Saigon City.
Yeah, my dad was assigned. Well, his situation is kind of unique because he was assigned to the 25th Infantry Division, 114th Infantry Regiment, and then they got attached to the 4th Infantry Division, and so he was like kind of weird. He's like, people in the 4th Infantry Division were making fun of us 25th ID guys. And because they were, you guys are Hawaii. Oh, look at you. And all that. So So it's like I kind of have some of the I have that historical background with that stuff. But again, hats off. Anthony just recently lost his father too. So
man.
Yeah, so it's been it's been hard for a lot of us. But like you said, they'd want us to soldier on. They'd want us to continue this fight because, like you said, this is disrespectful, dude. Just look, dude. I'm look at the wall.
It's a slap in the face. It's a slap in the face to anybody who served there in Vietnam. I mean, it is. I mean, and the prevarication, the falsehood is just so blatant. It's so obvious. It is what it is.
Yeah, I cannot. Yeah, exactly that. Gary just said you can never put these asshats in the same category as your family that did serve. And great points, guys. Supposedly there's some mean comments going on that are not mean comments. I'm looking right now, real quick. People are saying that that Facebook the algorithm is going nuts right now, muting comments. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Over us?
I guess. Well, see, the thing is that with our live stream, every time we broadcast Sergeant's Time, specifically Sergeant's Time, and the Mondays and Thursday shows, is that we have Russian and Belarusian and Chinese agitators that like to come in and pull their bullshit. One of them tried to get in our network while we were streaming live. And so anytime because we shit talk Putin and shit talk Ukraine shit talk Russia fighting in Ukraine, so we do all that shit all the time. So it's funny that Facebook, somebody's probably mass reporting what we're posting or what we're talking about because Spanky has her comments muted, and we're like, what's happening? Why is her? She's not even saying anything mean. You know what I mean? So it's like, so. From this point forward, then, what has any of these politicians done as up to this point? What are they saying? And as a matter of fact, who's he running against, by the way?
There's 5 other people. I can look it up. I think I've got it on my phone. Let me see here. But right now, the person who's in the lead is Walt Blackman, who actually was a decorated combat veteran. He's got a Bronze Star. He was there in I believe he was in Iraq. So
I think let
me see if I can find
it. We normally don't. I mean, for us, we kind of don't endorse anybody specifically. Present, everyone's present. Okay, but here's Walt Blackman talking, and hang on, let me window cap this so to give you guys an example. Now, normally, guys, we don't believe in politicians, and here's another thing too. If anything else, for Stolen Valor and how we don't believe that let's put it this way, if you're wearing a uniform to run for office, or like you said, if you're running unauthorized badges, we don't like that. That's you shouldn't. It breaks ethics, and it shows that you're using your service as your campaign pitch. And my only thing.
But you know what, Ken? You want to know something? He didn't have to do that. Anybody that knows the history of Korea in the 70s was a dangerous place. You had the Captain Boniface murders, the 3 Axe murders. There were people being sniped left and right.
Exactly.
It was crazy back in the 70s in Korea. It was a dangerous place.
It was exactly that. He did not. As a matter of fact, wasn't there a special forces guy that got awarded a Silver Star after Rick Lamb? I think. I'll have to give you the story on that one, but I guess there was an event that happened. He got awarded a freaking Silver Star, and he was an hang on, let me now you're killing me now. So I'm freaking.
I had a first sergeant at headquarters 306 in my battalion. He had an AAM very prominently displayed on his wall. He got shot by a sniper at one of the detachments.
Oh no shit!
And they gave him an AAM. He was so proud of that AAM.
Oh wow. Oh okay. So this is it is Rick Lamb. He received this is in 1984. He received a Silver Star for actions along the DMZ.
Wow.
1984. I'll drop these from the Global Soft Foundation, and of course we're not making marketing for them, but it's in the chats, and it'll be in the. But yeah, so there's not So it's like, could you imagine 1984 doing some shit, and all of a sudden you freaking have some shit happen, going against some intense fire. In the absence of platoon leader, staff sergeant Lamb led a quick reactionary platoon to face intense enemy armed small fire that killed several Koreans, secured a Soviet defector, and expelled the remaining North Koreans from the sector in the JSA. Holy shit.
Wow.
So they gave him a CIB and a Silver Star.
Well, people don't realize that, it's still considered the longest standing ceasefire.
Correct. It's still we're technically. You're right. That's another thing too. It's like we were talking about how we're doing these rotations. I could see our deterrence of sending rotational units to Korea because we're technically still at war. Yes, but having guys going to Europe. I mean, having guys going to Europe on a rotational basis when we should just have our units there. That's a whole nother. Like I just talked about in the beginning. That's a whole nother story. So right now, Walt Blackman, has he said anything about this? Has he said this dude's stolen valor and he's run, or is it kind of like a gentleman's agreement that we don't talk about each other? Or
Well, the way I understand it is Walt Blackman. Anybody can pull anybody's DD Form 214. I don't think people understand it. I mean, there's certain things that'll be redacted, like your character of service will be redacted and your social security will be redacted. But, people need to understand when you serve in the military and they generate these documents, they don't belong to you. They're the property of we the people. They are an official record, government records, and they're available to the public via, proper FOIA request. So it's my understanding that Mr. Blackman initiated all of this.
Gotcha. Okay.
He basically said, here's my DD Form 214. Here's my competitor's DD Form 214. He's saying he was in Vietnam. And I guess that's when Molly Ottman of Mountain Daily Star got involved and got Guardians, and then Anthony got involved. And, everybody piled up on this.
Yeah,
guy.
Anthony just said in the chats that he's spoken to Walt and he's very aware of the fake DD 214. So yeah, that's my biggest thing is the other politicians involved that are just.
I have a theory here, and I can't prove it, but I just want to throw it out there.
Send it. Oh, I'm all about that. I love that. I'm a PSYOP guy. This is my jam.
So basically, the analysis that I did on the purported DD Form 214 from Steve Slaton, it shows that it aged period correct. Okay. So if you think back to the 70s, and I know when I was just a youngster, my dad used to take me to American Legion, used to take me to VFW. You could not get in the front door of those places unless you had hard combat boots on the ground in country. Those organizations were run by the World War II vets and the Korean War vets, and they were the Vietnam vets were just then starting to join up in those service organizations, but you couldn't get in the front door. Now, they just recently, VFW and the American Legion, they just recently, like I think 15, 20 years ago, they said, okay, we're losing membership. We'll make Korea, since Korea is the longest standing army, we'll allow anybody who served in Korea to join the VFW and the American Legion. But other than that, the form before that, it basically said, if it didn't say World War II, Korea, Vietnam, you weren't getting in the front door. So that's my theory. My theory is this document was altered so that,
I keep going back, Jack. I keep going back to this.
Yeah.
What's with the endorsement? What is it with this? Are they going to make this guy a fucking fall guy to something? Are they going to?
I don't know.
What's it? Because that to me it looks like they're just prepping some shit to see what's going to happen. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, my conspiracy theory. That's what adds to the conspiracy theories. That's what adds to conspiracy theories. It's like, wait a minute. How can you? You have to be using this guy for a front guy for something. Either you're doing this front guy or something to take away votes from the other candidate, or you're doing this to distract from something else. The fact that look, honest journalism is out there, out front, out in the open. There you go. It's out in the open. But to have somebody ask for payment to do an interview, you pay, and then they didn't like what you said, and then they give you your money back.
I didn't even get a chance to say it. I didn't even get a chance to say it. All I did was a flyer, and I didn't even put a topic on the flyer. All it said was KMOG, Seth Cashel.
So you didn't. So wait, hang on. So you didn't air. You weren't on the mic.
No, we were supposed to air tomorrow.
Okay. My apologies to the audience. I thought it had happened already. So
yeah, we were supposed to air tomorrow between 4 and 5. And there's one more thing that I got in the message. That basically they said the owners and the advertisers have canceled all of the 4 to 5 p.m. Shows from here on out. So basically, I don't know. It's you're right. There's something more to this. I'm not an investigative reporter. I mean, they've got the tools to connect the dots. I probably somebody will eventually.
Yeah, exactly. I also noticed that somebody said in the chat she has a radio show. Wendy Rogers has a radio show on KMOG on this.
I don't know. I don't know if she does or not. I know she appears on there quite a bit, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna hold back on that because I think that's something that Molly's probably worked it on.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, well, no, Anthony just said it in the chats right now that Wendy has a daily show on that radio. That's why tonight canceled. Okay. Well, there you go. So now you have, for a Republican, they sure are, less government being government. You have a member of government that has a radio show, and it kind of fucking like has a it kind of has legit. It almost seems like there is. I'm just saying it is undue influence. If somebody came on and you said you were going to come on, and somebody saw what you were going to post, and then all of a sudden they didn't like it, and then all of a sudden it's just coincidental that this person in Congress has a radio show, bro.
I can pull up the statement if you want me to email it to you. I can send it to you. You can show it to your audience if you want.
Oh, well, I mean, send it to the radio email address, and we'll send it to the radio email address, the one you used to get on here. And
okay,
because this will be the final blast, I guess you'd say, before we take a break, because we've been blabbing over time, and I don't mind, but still, it's just like, wow. Drew says O'Keefe Media, you should get this guy involved. Okay.
James O'Keefe, that's a busy man. I've communicated with him.
Yeah.
It's a very busy man.
That's the radio station that also called Anthony Anderson a liar. So wow.
Yes, they did.
So wait, so I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder what the blowback's going to be from this podcast. They're going to be like, hey, by the way, for all you politicians out there, we have a reach of like almost 8 million, and we have 1.6 million followers, and we're on 5 different platforms live. So somehow someone's going to see this. Not to mention the memes too. So,
oh yeah, we've been having a lot of fun with the memes with Colonel Kurtz. And
yeah.
I don't know if you
Well, yeah, I was just about ready to talk about that. Yeah.
I got everybody on the Tommy Lee Jones one from Rolling Thunder. Everybody was like, "Hey, wait, that Master Sergeant, he looks like Tommy Lee Jones," because it is Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, exactly. Hang on, let me pull up the meme here, right here. Bam, let me just pull the meme right here. So there he is. Yeah, Steve Slaton. He was never a member. Yeah, exactly. I was the officer that Colonel Lucas, Mac V Song, Vietnam, and of course you got the Harrison Ford's character from Apocalypse Now. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, we're probably gonna have like people come after us now because we're making people upset.
Well, what are they gonna come after us for? I mean, we're telling the truth here.
Yeah, damn right we are. That's what I'm saying. I love it. No, it's they try. They try. Well, see, that's the thing. A lot of the social media people, they'll try to like shadow ban or say that we're reporting. So for instance, I posted something of somebody who was lying about their records, and I posted some records up, and it got my Twitter account suspended for a little bit because they claimed that was throwing up personal information. So, okay.
Okay, check your email. I just sent you the screen capture of where they took the money and then they put it back.
There's no credit card information and stuff here, right? This could
just the transaction.
This is a transaction. Okay, let me grab this right here. $200. I almost feel like that meme. You guys are getting paid. You guys pay to go on social media? I mean, to do interviews? This is a racket. Holy shit.
Yeah. Yep. So they took $200 and then they gave it back to me. Thank you very much. You're not coming on the air. You're censored.
Yeah, look at that right there. Okay, so there's this KMOG, blah 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 blah. And then they purchased it, and all of a sudden they gave it back to you. You should have asked for more money. You should say, hey, look, there's a. You should have said like, hey, I have a $500 cancellation fee or some shit like that. Because I didn't realize that was a racket like that. You look, you're not media. If you're paying, if your guests are paying to come on, you're not media. You're not. The future is now, old man. The messages is what is important. God, dude, this is. Well, I don't know what to say, man. Other than the fact that, well, actually, there's so much to say, but I don't know what to say now. I mean, I don't know. This is now exploding even more. Now, again, from Carrie Lake's office, there's been no direct naming. Like, she's not saying he's not been busted, so we're not going to sue anything. He just said they won't support anybody who's been convicted of stolen valor.
Right.
Not really like the,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's. You can't you just cannot do stuff like this. I mean, you know what? The veterans community, we're tight. We all talk, and this is so obvious, and it absolutely baffles me why. And some of these politicians up there served in uniform. It's like, this is not hard.
Yeah, especially from a party that talks about rule of law and battling corruption and government and government restriction of the press and freedom of speech. This is why I'm politically homeless. Because these fuckers, just politicians in themselves, when it comes to this stuff like here, I just like, God. Sometimes I wish that I had the device from Escape from LA and the World Code. That's what Baconator says. Some dude, I guarantee, I mean, that's why I guess somebody said that's why aliens don't invade us, because they think we're like the ghetto of freaking of the universe. Because God, dude, this is my biggest thing. Is my takeaway from all this is that everybody should go ahead and disassociate themselves, stop donating to Steve Slaton. Slaton, and say, yeah, his records have been proven. I mean. That's another thing too about Republican comms. They suck at messaging. They really do. They suck at messaging. This right here, this act that they did from K-Mogs not letting you come on, that right there, man, it just throws up so many red flags.
Yeah. The bottom line here is that the voters up there in northern Arizona, Payson, Cholo, that area, LD7, you have other options. You even have other options besides Wendy Rogers. I mean, Mr. Cook up there, who's running against Wendy Rogers, he comes from a very old family. They're ranchers, and he threw his hat in the ring. A lot of people don't know about him, but he's a good man. He's a good, hardworking. Sun up, goes to work, sundown. He's working with his cattle. So the people up there need to understand that this is what's being foisted on you, but you have other options.
Exactly. Now, again, we're not endorsing anybody else. We're just saying, we're just highlighting that this candidate is claiming service that he's not. Now, last thing, you highlighted it to me. The grandmas of there was a post. Yeah, exactly that. The good thing is that veterans. Anthony, you just took the words right out of my mouth. The veterans are showing up at Slaton's store, at the Trump store, and protesting that. Hey, you freaking. You're a fraud. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can grab the video. I posted it last time when we did the scammers and Stolen Valor episode, and it was all the hard workers that are definitely what this country needs, and the term limits on senators. Yeah, tell me about it. I can't find the video right now. That was the last thing. The last thing was a video of them. They called them the grandmas or something like that.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. They were out there protesting against it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, here we go. Let me pull it up. This is from the Mountain Daily Star, and let me pull this again. I love technology, man. You can just grab shit and just post everything. There we go. And then we'll go ahead and just play the sound right quick.
Faces of all those who died for this country by doing what he's doing.
Just look at that. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This right here, if you have the constituency saying this is stolen valor, and they're protesting in front of your store. I mean, God, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they're enjoying this. Any press is bad, or bad press is any press, or whatever press. I'm still, like I said, I'm still working my my novice wings on this journalism shit. So
yeah, but this is stuff that soap and water can't take off, man. This is like a tattoo.
Exactly.
This is like a bad tattoo, man. It ain't coming off.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
oh man, Jack, thank you so much for hanging out. Always a pleasure to watch, to shoot the shit, and of course, you and I talk behind the scenes anyway. So we're gonna take a break right quick, and then we'll be right back. I'll do some housekeeping and maybe cover a couple more stories. I got a story about Commander's open door policy. So hey, Jack, hang on for a sec while I do all this break stuff. So
Roger, thank you for having me on.
Yeah, no, always a pleasure. All right, so we'll be right quick. We're gonna go ahead and take a break, and then I will go ahead and shoot the shit with Jack, and we'll be right back. We'll just take a quick break so that way we could get hit the head and all that stuff. So we'll be right back. Shots.
You need me to stay on or?
There's a lot of tough talk on Twitter, but there's not a lot of real talk.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
And we're back. And we're back with WTF Nation Radio Sergeant's Time. You're listening to the second half with the ganja. I'm just kidding. You can't say that. DD-214 required. This is Sergeant's Time, so we can't be talking about that stuff. Oh, man. Big shout out. Huge shout out for our guest, Jack Dona, for coming on. This is what it's all about, man. I like this. This is some... This is some news. This is some good shit. I'm just shocked. I literally am shocked that we have radio stations out there that people pay you to be a guest. That's a new one. I must be new to this game, or I must be you gotta pay to be a guest. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Again, thanks again, Jack, for coming on. And of course, there will be some follow-ups because, again, you never know what happens. You never know what's going to happen when, specifically in politics, how all this shit happens. Probably going to get told, "Hey, you better take it down," and it ain't going to go down. So again, this is going to be funny. Tomorrow, I think. Hang on, let me. Did we announce tomorrow? Tomorrow's did we I'm sorry, I'm working and chatting at the same time. You guys in the chats and that are listening part of the station, did we announce what's happening tomorrow? Did we announce or is Cause going to do that about tomorrow? Keyboards to phones about tomorrow. Sorry, I'm doing work, doing work. That's like kind of like politicians having to pay Trump. That DD dude in Arizona might as well be Wile E. Coyote. Exactly. It's kind of like politicians having to pay Trump $1.5 million for his endorsement. Yeah, man. Do you endorse that shit? Hang on. About tomorrow, or is that cost? Hang on. I know I understand dead air, so I'll just real quick. So. Let me get the chats going. All right, so the next story we're going to talk about. Real quick story. Actually, not a real quick story, just some follow-ups, I guess. So we have posted on U.S. Army WTF Moments a couple of items that I think would be of interest. And it's just so fucking, it's just so, the irony right now. We're talking about a unit that's forward, and what just so happened, man, admins are quick. I guess this new tab just dropped for the EUCOM deployment. You guys are fast. You guys are real fast. Holy crap. At any rate, we posted some stuff on the main page that we thought was a pretty good. We thought was a pretty good idea. At least we think so. Hang on. We look. It's bad enough. It's bad enough that commanders. Here's the reason why WTF Nation, U.S. Army WTF Moments exists. It's because there's a lot of things that's given great orders and great, leaders are out there that are just giving out that good guidance. And it's always the guys. It's always the leaders in the middle, the guys and the gals in the middle that are in charge, first sergeants, company commanders, battalion commanders, that seem to not get it. Well, we saw something that caught our eye, that we thought was okay. Well, all right, this is good shit. We could deal with this. Then it has to do with commanders' open door policies. Now, this open door policy is quite unique. That I've not seen this in some time. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've ever seen this. I've never seen a commander put it into policy, at least. So, this is out here in a Field Artillery Squadron, the Red Legs out there at the 2nd Cavalry Regiment, Rose Barracks, Germany. Hellraiser battery troopers and company family members are authorized to use the open door policy anywhere, anytime, anywhere, on any topic. I'm available for you. Okay, now that's like a standard, normal, commander's open door policy, right? But I think the reason why this took some particular attention is because you may utilize the traditional open door and come to my office. However, I will often bring the open door directly to you during the visits to the barracks, dining facility, motor pool, shop offices, etc. I will drop what I'm doing, talk with you, and we will find solutions. The virtual open door is an option. And everyone's like, oh, you posted his socials and all this other stuff. You know, his soldiers follow this, right? And some of the disconnect that we're seeing from the higher echelons down to the company level is that leaders don't pass this information down. So we're going to assist Captain Foster? Captain Foster, commander of the Field Artillery Squadron. We're assisting him, and that's what he posted. We left all of his socials. We didn't leave his. He has a personal number up there, and he had some personal information that we wouldn't have put that given to the Joes. But his Instagram, his Twitter, his Facebook Messenger. Now look, are you trying to take our job, sir, Captain Foster? This is what it's all about. An omnidirectional virtual to include virtual open door policy. Dude, this is awesome. This is awesome. Again, we just got this. Everyone's liking it. Everyone's soldiers couldn't believe that this leader put this out. So we're going to give this leader the opportunity. We'll let it work out the system. If he wants to take our job, please. That's what W.T.F. Moments is all about. We want you to not. We don't mind not existing as long as the commanders just do their shit. Everyone in the comments has said it. I've been in Hellraiser Company before. Glad to see this organization is making small and big wins. Another person says that contrast this with the 7 formations a day and beatings will continue until morale improves. Approaches we've seen here recently. Good on you, sir. Another comment, protect this commander at all costs. He's an invaluable asset to his soldiers. This got 1.4 thousand reactions to this, all in the positive. Matter of fact, let me look at it. Yeah, all in the positive, no negatives. A lot of shocked faces out there. This right here is what it's all about. I never apparently had issues where I needed to use the open door policy, bit more leadership of this kind of mentality. I would definitely have not gotten out when I did. So people talk about, it's not about the discipline problem, right? We're talking about discipline. Imagine a unit worried about unit cohesion. Imagine that, Tyler. Exactly. Like I said, if Captain Foster wants to do our job for us at WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio, take it. That's what I'm talking about. That's being engaged. Now, I'm pretty sure, like us, we've seen some inbox inquiries and some messages that, sometimes you just want to say, where's your NCO? Because there's a lot of things that we get in the inbox that get thrown at us that I know for a fact, if a sergeant would lift his head out of his own fucking phone, he'd be able to help that soldier out with whatever their issue is. Somebody's posting over here. I remember getting so much shit from my NCOs for not going through a chain of command to set a meeting with my CO when I questioned, then what was the point of the open door policy? My NCO right here. Ryan Krantz, our friend over at 316 Cab Brigade over at, look at this, Ryan Krantz. Love you, Ryan. Good friend of mine. He posted his open door policy like this. I love it. That's what I'm talking about. That is what it's all about. I love this stuff. This is the good stuff right here. Look at that shit. All right, so I just want to say shout out to Captain Foster. Appreciate you letting the soldiers. Again, we're just here to help you out. That's one of the problems we're seeing. There's individuals that are talking about gatekeeping and stuff like that in the comments as well. And that's usually, you want that printer? That's usually some of the issues with some policies that come out. Somebody says this is an open door policy. Most commanders have an open door policy because it's required. They don't really care to talk to soldiers or hear their issues. Love this. So if you say open door, this isn't what you mean. It is an open door. Of course, we have people that are going to be some haters. And so Somebody's like, oh, I hope he went to legal. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, as a matter of fact, you guys realize that if your company commander opens up his DMs for you and all this other stuff, and you send him some shit, just remember the Army policy on, respect and all that. AR 600-20, Army command policy. Xanthan, what you just got here? What you just missed? You missed some good Stolen Valor stories. We're just now gassing up a commander who posted this. All right, last thing. Some of you veterans, older veterans, need to talk to the youngins. Some of you older leaders, NCOs, need to talk to the youngins. I missed. Yeah, I know you did miss raw ice cream. Because there are memes and stuff, and you got to stick with the lingo, man. The future is now, old man. Somebody asked me why we posted a picture of a crying Vince McMahon. You guys got to get up on the memology. Again, do we have to explain memes to the WTF Nation? This right here. Big shout out. Big shout out. This is a first sergeant departing the organization. He said, Friday will be my last day. My fully responsible for the company, though my COR won't be till right after block leave. I just want to thank you guys for everything over the last 2.5 years. It's been quite literally some of the best and worst times of my life. But watching you grow and develop during our time has been incredible. This is one of the most badass, gritty, and resilient companies I've ever been a part of in 18 years of service. And that's 100% because of your leadership. You guys are going to accomplish some amazing things as you move into the next training cycle. Stay focused, stay motivated, and stay disciplined. If nothing else, care for your soldiers. They will do anything for you if you show them that you care. I'll do my best to say goodbye to each of you individually, but I understand that we're so spread out right now that it may not be possible. Get your EIB, Bailey, Hartsfield, and even Crook. There you go. Thanks for everything. That hit the feels, man. Everybody in the WTF Nation jock were like, oh, bro. When we got this in the inbox, it was like, can you look? I always feel like I have when I talk to the audience, and especially the younger soldiers. I always I love it. I like interacting with the younger soldiers. So it's almost like a father-like figure or mother-like figure that likes to do these shout outs. So that's what he said. Can you please help us appreciate one of the best leaders the Army still has, First Sergeant James Sisson. Great leader, mentor, and one of the baddest motherfuckers to ever serve. I am proud to work and serve with him. He created a safe working environment for everyone, never discriminated. He treated everyone, including the shitbags, with love, care, and cared for everyone, lower enlisted, and all leaders. So you guys, we got some a little bit of comments in the chats. I'm not gonna highlight and start doing the dragging on everybody. But our audience is always like this. You always post the negative shit. This is oh bull. You need to fucking, how come you don't highlight good units? So we come up with pictures of the week. Everyone likes it. Everyone loves it. We did the extra step, went from a feel-good Friday to now a close of business shout-out. So at 1700 Eastern Standard Time, at the close of business, you get to see the units. You get to see leaders get shout-outs. That's their close of business shout-out. And then in the morning, when you wake up for coffee, you will see somebody re-enlisting. I keep telling individuals that you need to take pictures of your service. You need to take photos of your deployments. You need to stop, take a breath, and realize who you have around you. Because one of the things that we always get is, hey, you posted something a long time ago. That's a friend of mine that passed away. Can you help us find the pic? And we'll do our best. We do our best to make sure that that those have requested information like that. So that's why we do it. That's why we have our leader shout outs. That's why we have our feel good posts with soldiers re-enlisting, because I'm seeing a lot of the military's fucked, the Army's fucked, and all that. Yeah, the Army's not perfect, right? But we're not here to destroy the institution. We're here to let everybody know There's good and bad out there. We're here to let everybody know that we want the Army to fix itself. We want leaders to be aware of what the Army needs to do to fix themselves. Some of it just could use a little nudge, forget about it. Like the sports bar, like the coach, forget about it. You just need a little nudge to, let everybody know what's going on. So the Hawk Tua meme is taking over the world right now. Oh, okay, cool. The Hawk Tua meme. Let me. This is the one that it was. We've all been deployed and had that one special girl back home. So there it is. That's the Hawk Tua meme. That's the girl that did Hawk Tua. So somebody said, and I love this part. We posted more of this. All right. And then somebody said in the comments, hang on, let me get this. This is pretty fucking funny. This right here hit. That comment right there. At this point, I think people are just re-enlisting to be on U.S. Army WTF moments. So what if we are? Huh? Yeah, what if we want to highlight some? So that's something too. All these mill media pages and stuff like that, always bitching about the Army. There are a couple good pages out there, by the way, that actually highlight soldiers doing some good shit, or get some good, get some good media, get some good pictures, and get some. I love that. That's what I'm talking about. We're gonna gas the troops up. Pictures of the Week goes out every Saturday. Gas the troops up. Make sure they are of quality that you would want to see on a movie poster, or that you would say like, that looks like a badass movie. That's a badass scene. Same thing with videos. We don't mind having the videos. We're working through our video tech stuff right now to figure that stuff out, but we'll get there. But shout outs, always going to happen. Close business shout outs, and then the re-ups. And then, of course, there's standard fuckery in between. So with that, I think, let me see, what do we got going on the housekeeping, since Spanky left me the lemon pledge. So U.S. Army WTF moments has the highest retention rate. We can prove it, Better Banking Hitter. We can prove it. So hang on, let me see. I just wanted to double check with the team. Hang on. Okay, so tomorrow, Friday Night Freedom. I'll let Kaz talk about it, but tomorrow's going to be his last show. Tomorrow's going to be the last showing of Friday Night Freedom. So I would ask that you come on to U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio for Kaz's Friday Night Freedom stuff. He'll tell you everything that's going on. I'm not stealing no thunder, but I'm just letting you know that it is the final Friday Night Freedom. Kaz will be able to tell you what's going on and all that stuff. And of course, the show's going to be at 20:30 Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. So yeah, exactly. I am not happy about it myself. So it's I can't quit you, Kaz. I love you, brother. So at any rate, tomorrow we have the last show of Friday Night Freedom. Saturday's obviously a day off, well, unless you're doing some co-ops with Nemo and WTF Nation Gaming. Monday is, I'm sorry, I keep forgetting Sunday because, I don't know, does King, I'm gonna break balls on King Smith. Does he ever broadcast anymore? I'm just kidding, gang. Just breaking balls. Love you, man. The coach and the actual King Smith are going to be on for the sports bar on Sunday. The Monday edition with myself. Massey's still taking a break. Marshall Tarrant's going to be joining me. Yeah, it's going to be a veterans. We're going to talk about, PTSD. We're going to talk about, veteran issues and stuff like that. I think you guys will enjoy this talk with Marshall Tarrant on the Monday edition. And of course, on Pop Culture Warrior, we have Terrell Rothery joining CQ, Mad Mike, or Angry Elf whenever those two are flip-flopping. And then Wednesday is the Sorents with the Smoke Pit. Did you guys see that show last night? It was pretty cool. I like that show. Reading thrillers and stuff like that. You should check it out. And then Thursday again with Sorents with Moi. And I think that Sergeant's time slot is going to be taken up with something else. We got some other, in July, we have some other guests that are starting to fill the calendar up already. And so I'm curious to see what else. Look in the future. to more professional development stuff on Sergeant's Time, because one of the things that we see when we get from the audience, when we ask them to email us something or ask us to, you guys always do is post memes. You don't really do shit. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to give you an avenue to do shit. Get involved in doctrine. Get involved with writing and publishing papers to discuss some of the issues that you feel that you think you can, well, some innovation has come across from papers. So, again, make sure you share, like, and follow. We're broadcasting live on 5 platforms. 2 Facebook pages at U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio. 2 YouTube pages, WTF Nation Radio and U.S. Army WTF Moments. And a Twitter on the X app. I was just telling somebody, hey, you got a lot of, you don't have many followers, but the followers that you have are some, you got some followers. Yeah, we got some followers. We got some big name followers that follow our little X app. So the last thing I want to say is that we have had, we were talking about losses of the family and all this stuff. We have, but we had a baseball player. Let me pull up something like this right quick. I just want to put up this picture right here because this is important. So Willie Mays passed, and he served, and he was a veteran and supported a lot of veteran causes, and so he just recently passed. So a baseball legend. Like I said, I'm not too much of a baseball enthusiast, but I do know in the veteran community, he's been. You need, plenty of people tell them to update Skippy's list. Did you know Skippy's list was done by a PSYOP guy? At any rate, so Willie Mays passed. Like I said, a baseball legend. Damn, dude, it's kind of like unreal that the legends are he was, I think he was about at 93. So he died Tuesday at the age of 93. Korean War veteran. Like I said, just one of the most... Guy was legend. A legend. So, Baseball Hall of Famer Willie Mays passed at 93. Another notable passing. This is kind of... This is kind of a... on how do I say this? This is an oddball of a passing, and the reason why I say oddball is because Donald Sutherland has passed, and he is a legend, and portrayed in the movie Kelly's Heroes is obviously oddball, the NCO that commanded out of the 6th Armored Division or something like that. So he played some of the prolific roles that some of the military and a lot of the veterans kind of like, I don't know, some of them are inspired by it. I saw on Twitter, or X app, some individuals that were inspired by Donald Sutherland's performance in Kelly's Heroes. Also, he in his performance in MASH. So Donald Sutherland passed, and exactly that. I think Donald Sutherland has been in every movie. Exactly that cause. I'm the same way, man. Donald Sutherland has not disappointed in any movie that he's been in. And again, may he rest. His son Kiefer announced it on social media. And so again, just another, like I said, legends are legends. It's legends. You do not need an excuse to rewatch Kelly's Heroes. You should watch that. That should be like your holiday event. You should watch Kelly's Heroes. You should watch The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. You should watch, what else? Gone with the Wind. You should watch all the film. I mean, those are the movies that you watch. You should have that's like your annual little ritual there. Kelly's Heroes being one of them. So yeah, both of them have been the Range 15. Both of those, Willie Mays and Donald Sutherland, have been key in the veteran community, and both been supportive of the veteran community as well. So it's been, he was exactly that. He was the original Hawkeye on MASH, the movie MASH, the feature film. So again, both gone. It's just kind of like the legends are just dying, man. It's just, I know time comes for us all, but still, it sucks. So at any rate, make sure you share, like, and follow all those platforms. Somebody said I was a psyop. There was a psyop in the house. We're broadcasting when I said psyop in the house, and they were like, I saw a bunch of emojis flying at me and hearts and stuff like that. Thank you for the little psyoper emoji and stuff like that. So yeah, well, welcome to the club. Zip zap. You see the ghost behind me. Yeah. So make sure you turn in for Friday Night Freedom tomorrow. 2030, by the way, Eastern Standard Time. So again, appreciate Jack for coming on and shooting the breeze with us. And do I gotta do the Tua thing? Is that what it is? The kids are telling me I need to do a Tua meme. Tua. This is Sarn's time. We're supposed to be professional here. Anyways, make sure you share, like, and follow, and y'all have a good night. Shots. See you.
Hey, this is SEAC retired John Wayne Troxel. You're listening to WTF Nation Radio, the station of choice for all of the badass MFers on the planet.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Sometimes when I look at, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, I think it's WTF Army or something.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Yeah, you can't front on that.
What's your song begin? Just like I was Eddie Harris. You're eating crazy cheese like you would think I'm from Paris. You know I get it wrong. You think I get high? You know that I'm born to come and tell you all mine. So tell me, who are you kissing? Maybe I'm missing the reason that you're smiling a while. Then so listen, in my head I just wanna take them down. Imagination set loose and I'm gonna shake them down. Let it flow like a mudslide. Oh, when I get on, I like to ride and glide. Got depth of perception in my texture. Legs, yeah.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.